Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Unstoppable Conversations, where we intend to create conversational adventures through fun, challenging, yet meaningful questions. And we'll be speaking about a lot of different topics about every single aspect of life, basically. And it'll be all while playing a fun PowerPoint game. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andre. I'm the host and creator of Unstoppable Conversations. And I'm a wearer of many hats. I'm not going to dig deeply into that now. I'd just like to welcome my guest, Michelle. Michelle, hello.
Hey, hi Andre. How are you? Thank you for
Great.
having me.
It's a real pleasure. Thank you for coming on to this podcast as well. I think it's a podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. This will be the first time that we really, converse properly and get to know each other. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited and nervous at the same time, so bear with me. It'll be good. It'll be fun.
It's these questions are all about you, so yeah, there's no
Okay.
right or wrong answers. Yeah, it's just about you. I'm
Oh,
gonna
this is
jump
going to
right
be
in.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump right in and share my screen.
Hmm.
And you'll notice that I didn't introduce you as fully as one normally does on a podcast. And the reason for that is because I'd like you to introduce yourself. I find it very interesting to hear how people introduce themselves and how they perceive themselves. And I just really like to have that from you as well. So
Excellent.
ta-da! Here's the first screen.
Ta-da.
I think so. On the right-hand side here, there's kind of like a white bar, which is a timer. It's got
Hmm.
so that's another layer of challenge. So you've got to introduce yourself.
Okay.
There's 45 seconds on the clock. You can speak about anything and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna put the
Okay.
question forth. Who are you?
Well, thank you, Andre. I am Michelle Peel and I am an digital entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur for quite a long time, and my journey has continued into my third business now in the last 30 years, basically. And embarking on my third business into design and media and all of the marketing and everything that I absolutely love. I finally found my passion and purpose. So, yeah, it's me. And got lots of stories to tell.
That's amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing all of your stories and just diving into, yeah, further into who you are and how you see the world. Thank you for sharing. That was pretty good. Yeah. So far, I remember the first episode with Callie. She took she took her time introducing herself, which was also wonderful. But yeah, you managed to do it under 45 seconds, which is
I
great.
was told I had a time limit. I had to get the time limit in. I like to stick to the rules, so so
Same
it's a
with
bit of
me.
fun to.
Same with me. I don't like bending or breaking the rules too much. Yeah. I'm glad it didn't fluster you too much or make you panic or something.
No, well, yeah, you just don't. I'm very good at hiding that. So-
You can tell your secrets. Um, so you said 3 businesses already. Can you tell us a bit more about all 3 of them?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So my husband and I started a dental laboratory in Victoria, in Geelong, Australia, and we had that for 11 years. He's a Crown and Bridge dental technician, and he got unwell, so we changed businesses after 11 years of running that, and we went into stationery and office supplies
Okay.
and moved to Queensland, 2,000 kilometres away from our hometown, and with a young family, and kicked that off. And yeah, I did that for 14 years, and I was been working for another office supplies company since for the last 10 years. And my career has been, I'm a graphic artist, a printer's compositor is where I started my career. And I've done a big 360. I'm actually now running my business. My husband's had his, and then we had ours, and now it's mine. So I'm really very excited for the future, and I'm not done yet. I've got a lot to do, and loving working with my clients and bringing them to life, bringing them to be seen. That's the whole thing with social media. It's very hard to brand yourself, and I've always felt, with businesses, there was a lack of support in a affordable manner for SMEs to get help with marketing or branding, and especially now with all the online, it's just so daunting for people out there to know where to start, and having all that background and all the business knowledge I've combined my skills with my knowledge, and I've got a pretty great dynamic business that's just growing really well.
It sounds like it. Yeah, that's a fantastic combination because it's
Mm,
tough to you know your business, but if you want to market your business, you've got to learn basically a whole new field, which is social media marketing, and it's a lot to handle.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's overwhelming for people. I'm finding that I'm working with mainly women. I've got a guy I work with, and people are time poor. They want to transition out of their 9 to 5 and have a business, and they have ideas for a business and just don't know where to kick it off, and that's where I come in, because I've started 2 businesses from scratch, and
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah, it's what I love doing. I love building that momentum and seeing it all grow, and it's just my, I just get that real, fire in my belly to make it all come together for people, and it's so fun. It really is.
Well, I can actually feel that as you're speaking. I'm like, yeah, let's go, people. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And look, my son says I get stuff done. I just don't let it rest. I make it happen. So yeah. Mm.
Love that. Getting stuff done. That's the best. I don't like. So you kind of combine graphic design with like business building, consulting, and would that be right?
Correct. Yeah. So it's pretty much a one-stop shop, so to speak. My business design studio I've created as um, my business, and it's a one-stop shop. It's where I holistically bring together a business. So I have an art of being able to intuitively get to know my clients and understand what they're trying to achieve, and I'm a good listener, and I'm very patient. So I have that. A lot of my clients say, "You are so patient with me." Well, that's just me. It's the way I am. I know, or I want them to finish with me, or keep growing with me. But I want them to be in love with what I do, and until they're in love with what I do or create, they don't move. And I just keep, getting it right, and then all of a sudden it just pops, and they're in love with what I do. So yeah, it's just amazing how it all comes together.
Yeah, that's wonderful. When you've got intentions like that, there's no way that you won't succeed, I think, when you've got that
Thank you.
love and
Oh,
passion.
I'll make sure I succeed. Trust me. It's my final hurrah, and I'm building the legacy for my children. I really I want my life to have been known for my achievements, and this is my final hurrah, and well on the way to making it come to reality. It's already in a reality. It's already happening. So I'm loving working with people all over the globe. It's just fantastic that we can run a business globally now, having had 2 brick and mortar businesses, and now I've got a global business that I can run wherever I am.
Yeah, that is incredible. The power of technology and the connectedness that we all have with one another. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, I think later in the episode, I'll get some of your details from you, and you can share how people can get in touch with you as well, because I'm sure everybody watching can see the passion and the love that you have for what you do, and I know there's somebody out there who's listening
Thank you.
needs you right now. So definitely later we can share those details and how people can get in touch with you as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. On to the next challenge, which is slightly more fun. I'm hoping.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on. I thought we could kick it off as well with a kind of a lightning round. So I'm going to give you
Mhm.
two options for just basically like a this or that kind of thing. And
Okay.
geez, yeah. Um, all right, let me go into it. Fancy animations. So
That's
when you're ready,
cool.
you just have to choose series or movies.
Ooh, movies.
Movies. Tough one already. Music or reading?
Um, ooh, probably reading.
Reading. Trying to guess that one. Summer or winter?
Oh, I do love summer. Do love summer.
That's your final answer.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 because I do like the cold as well. But summer, yes, I love sitting on the beach and reading a book. So there you go.
Okay. Fiction or non-fiction?
Oh, fiction. Yeah.
Oh, fiction. And the city or the countryside?
That's a tricky one. I look city. Yeah, city.
Wow. Well, there it is. There is your list of Wow, that seemed like it was more challenging for you than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I love a lot. I love life, and it's really tricky because winter, I love the cold. I love to snuggle in, but I also love to sit on the beach and sit in the sun. So I'm probably 50-50 there. But and the city and the country, my dream is to actually live in the country. I've always lived in cities, so to speak.
Um,
Country cities sort of thing, yeah. So being a Geelong girl, which is a real country town in Victoria, well, it's not really a little country town, it's quite a big town, but having lived in coastal country towns, yeah, I that's the kind of lifestyle I love. So yeah, just my dream is to have a property with some chooks and all the room in the world for my golden retrievers I'm going to have before I pass. I've had one before and I'm going to have two more before I die. So to have the
that's
space for it would be great.
that's true. The coastal towns and cities do have like a countryside kind of vibe to them, you know.
They
Even if they're
do. They
city
do.
up towns, they have that relaxed element that I think you get in countryside towns.
Absolutely. Where we live right now is exactly like that.
Mm.
It's still a country kind of little town and it's got a great community. So yeah, that's what I love. I love the community and the connections. So yeah, it's great.
I mean, I also grew up in a town called East London in South Africa. I mean, it's probably one of the top 10 biggest cities in South Africa, but South
Oh
Africa's
wow.
population as a whole is not that big, you know. So even if it's a city or like a big town, I don't think
Mm.
it's anything like where I live now, which is in Beijing, which has I think 30 million plus people. Like
Wow.
just crossing the road, it's it's like seeing a whole town, you know, just a lot of places. Mm.
Yeah,
How's the
it's
weather
just I'm
in
sorry?
your hometown? How's the weather generally in your hometown compared to where you live now? Like how do the summers and winters compare?
Oh, they're so my hometown, very cold because it's very south of Australia. So Victoria's south of us, down the bottom end of Australia. And whereas Queensland's up north and of Australia, and we right now are in the hot weather. So, but our winters are very cold. People think that Queensland just doesn't get cold. Well, because I'm a seasoned Queenslander now. I've been here 23 years, so I'm nearly a local. Yeah,
Sure.
so
That's good.
25 years they say you're a local. They don't not any sooner. So yeah, but the weather up here, my goodness me, it can get hot, and today's been very hot actually. But we have humidity as well here. But in Victoria, in Geelong, where I'm from, we can have the heat But then there's a change generally will come through and then it's icy cold and rain and it's cold. But when it rains up here, it's warm, it's not cold. So yeah.
So what's your definition of very cold then? I'm curious. Like how cold is that?
Very cold
Does it
for
snow
me in Queensland is about 15 degrees in
Celsius?
Queensland. Yeah. Yeah. And then really cold in Victoria is, yeah, about your sixes and, because generally up in Queensland, we're about 10 degrees above what
Oh,
they are down there.
yeah.
Mm. But we in Queensland, like it's all known for the sun and the summer and everything. But in the winter, I wear blazers and scarves and boots, and yeah, I wear all the wet, cold weather gear. People don't believe I do. You can actually in the winter time up here in Queensland, you can actually pick the tourists because they're all wearing shorts and t-shirts, and the locals don't.
That's informed, yeah. Yeah.
It's quite funny.
Reminds me of when I first moved to China and to Beijing specifically, because back home in South Africa as well, very cold was like if it was ever 10 degrees, the it was like people panic, how can it be this cold? And when
Yeah.
I moved to Beijing and I had to buy my first like winter jacket, because here it gets like today I think it was -10, -15. It gets
Oh wow. Oh,
deep.
because it's winter over there, isn't it? Like it's winter.
And I went into the shops and I kept seeing like these jackets have numbers on them. This jacket says 0, this says -5, this one has -15.
Oh yeah.
I asked my friends, like, why are they like, what are these numbers? They're like, no, that's the temperature rating. And I
Mm.
had no idea because in my mind, cold was just, yeah, it's just cold, you put on a jacket. But there is a distinct, I have like different levels of jackets. This jacket is
Wow.
deepest of winter. The jacket I came here with from South Africa, I think if it's even my fifth warmest jacket, I'd be surprised. Yeah, it's different level.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Because I
Especially,
mean, in Japan is snow, so naturally you would be in that kind of climate right now.
we did get snow, I'm gonna say a month ago. Like there's still ice in a lot of places that don't get sun. Um,
Wow.
it's still, it might be because Japan's snowing now. Like these few days, there's quite an icy breeze coming through.
Mm,
I don't know how, if it's from Japan, but yeah, could be a reason.
who knows?
Should we go on to the,
Cold still. Yeah, let's do it.
so I'm presenting you with a few categories. This little one at the bottom is for right at the end. Other than that, you can choose from the top left, the top right, or the middle one. I'm not going to tell you what the categories are. None of them are, yeah, they're fun. They're fun.
Okay, cool. So I've got to pick one, do I? Or you just pick them?
Choose.
What do I do?
You're in
Choose one.
control.
Okay. I'll go the one in the middle.
This one.
Yes.
And you've picked, that's a tough one. So in the category, when I had Callie on, I politely asked her to say, "That's a tough one," after every question, just so I could get the effect through that it's really a tough one. Um,
That's a tough one.
okay,
Okay.
so
This is gonna
first
be good.
question in that's the tough one category is, what does success look like for you?
Ooh,
That's a
okay. That is a tough one. That's a tough one. Um, being autonomous again and having being able to be my own boss and generating multiple six-figure income. That's what I'm
yeah,
heading for. And yeah, so and having my own home and time with my family. Yeah, so all that I vision is to have that freedom of life. Yeah, so just to have that flexibility that you can make your own choices. Mm.
The the older I get and the more I live. It's a weird thing that I wanted to say, but yeah, I go on. I don't know why I'm mindful to phrase it like that. I'm also valuing freedom a lot more as a measure of success because,
Absolutely.
well, it gives you a lot of freedom. You know, you have the option to choose what you want to do, and I think that would probably be the goal that most people are striving for, even though they might not realize it at the time. Is we all just want to be
Mm.
in control of our life. We want to get to a stage where we can have that control.
Yeah, yeah. One of my businesses is Be Free Lifestyle. That's my name of my business. So yeah, it's very much on my radar having a be free lifestyle and to, just even go shopping and not look at the tags and worry about what I'm spending and, just have what I want. That's the lifestyle that's when I know I've made it.
Yeah, that is a wonderful measure of success, that freedom. What would you do
Hmm.
if you kind of reach that point, like your first few weeks of being successful and having like just total freedom? What do you think you'd do first?
You know what? I would just, well, I love caravanning and camping. So just to be able to hook up and go, and just wherever we want to stop, we stop and have that freedom of choice to do what I want when I want, sort of thing. That would be my first thing, to have a holiday. So yeah, yeah, 100%. But I mean, I love. Like, I never feel like I'm working because I'm just so passionate about what I do. I never feel, oh no, I've got to do this. It's never like that. It really isn't. I'm just so passionate about seeing it all, people succeed and get that. So my success is their success. So that's sort of, I don't think I'll ever stop working, so to speak, no matter how successful I am, because I just love helping and being of service. So yeah.
I resonate with that a lot as well. Um, because work in a way gives value and meaning. And actually, if you go camping and like van life around the country, because of how technology has evolved and because of
Yeah.
what you can help people from anywhere. And
Anywhere, exactly. And it's so amazing how we can do that. Yeah, so that's my ultimate, to just up and go and be where I want to be with my husband and have that freedom. Yeah, so be
it's
great. It's
amazing.
coming.
It's yeah. It's, I can feel the belief like as I'm speaking to you. A lot of what you're saying right now is just exactly what I wanted and felt like I was gonna hear tonight. I don't know how to express it. Um, yeah, it's just I'm resonating a lot with what you're saying, which I think is wonderful. Yeah.
It's great.
Anyway,
Well, thank you.
uh, okay, so we're back at the category choice slide. So you can choose, you see there are like these numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can choose
Hmm.
to continue with the that's a tough one category, or you could choose a new category. So from now on, basically you have free choice to jump around. You can have a go at what the other categories are, or just keep getting the tough questions. It's your choice.
Let's go another category.
Love that.
So, top left-hand corner.
Very cool. All right, and this category is let's get personal.
Ooh.
Oh, it's not a tough one, but it is fun.
No.
Personal. So the first question in this category is if you could sit around a table and have a coffee and chat with 5 people alive today, who would you choose and why?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oprah Winfrey would be one. Richard Branson would be my other. Um, oh, alive. Yeah, Richard Branson.
I guess you could choose
Um,
anybody. Doesn't there are rules,
it
but there
doesn't
are
really,
also rules.
it can be anybody. Yeah, so alive. yeah, I've got a really, really good friend who he's very knowledgeable and he's still alive today. I'd love him on the table. So yeah, he would be one as well. And gee, that question would be good for the people who have passed, I tell you, because there's so many people out there.
You can
that-
add two of them in. It's okay. We'll break the rule.
Okay. Yeah, my very first boss, because she was the one that told me I should run my own business.
Wow.
And that was back when I was 16. Mm. So I'm very grateful to her.
It's amazing.
And yeah, so oh my goodness, so many.
Go.
Oh,
Fun.
Gabrielle Bernstein. Um, the universe has got your back. Gabby Bernstein, Gabby, yeah, put her books over there. Yeah, so yeah, she would be good.
Author.
Yeah, she's an author. Yeah, she's writes books, and I've really read a lot of her stuff because yes, so it really just her stuff really makes me believe in there's a bigger thing out there that's got our back, absolutely. Whether it be, you know, God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, there's a lot more greater uh, body out there, I believe. Yeah.
So what do you think the conversation would look like if both of you sitting around the table?
Oh wow. Wow. I really don't know. I guess
What would you ask? What would you ask? Like, if you just had to be the one to start the conversation,
yeah, what would I ask? Okay.
crack a joke.
So it's just like I just love the drive of like the Oprah Winfrey and of Oprah Winfrey and Richard Branson, and just screw it, let's do it, just do it sort of thing, just that whole focus and vision that they have, and that's I would talk about how they see things and understand they want to get to where they want to go, and do they see it in an end result? Like, do they visualize it as they're there all along the way, all along their journey, or do they grow with it as they go? Because Richard Branson was on a holiday and he needed to get no, he decided to start up an airline sort of thing because of the inconvenience that he had with his holiday, and just to visualize, because I find I visualize a lot. I'm very much I'm a visual. I can see an end result. I've built a couple of houses, and I can visualize the finished product. And I sort of wonder whether they had done that too, or whether they just went with the flow and just as it evolved sort of thing. Mm.
That would be a great question. Hmm. If you ever do sit around the table with them, could you put me on speakerphone or something? I'd love to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you
That'd be
think
a good conversation.
uh, out of them?
What did you say? I missed that. Sorry, it cut out.
Who do you think would be the funniest person at the table?
The funniest?
Um,
Oh, Richard Branson. I reckon he'd have he'd be a real character, I reckon.
it must be, yeah. I'd definitely be drawn to ask him, like, how do you start an airline? That seems like such a massive
Mm.
taking.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And where do you
Absolutely.
find the belief? Because that's incredible belief in yourself. First of all, to just think, I'm just this
Mm.
is inconvenient. Let me start my own airline business, and then believe that you're going to do it.
It's doable. Yeah. And like having read his book and the way he started, like he's a creative, and these creatives, even like Steve Jobs, he would be a good one to have on the table too. Like he's amazing. He's such a visionary, and
Mm.
yeah, amazing.
I'm
Amazing people. Yeah, very much so. But it'd be
curious.
fun.
A question just popped into my head now, which I don't have here, but I'm gonna throw it in. What's your definition of the word creative or being creative?
My definition. Okay. So I think it's a combination of things. I don't think it's one thing. I think you can have a creative mind. You can have which you can visualize doing things. You can be creative and make things. You can be creative. Yeah, there's lots of different aspects to creative, I believe. I think that people are creative in different ways. So, yeah,
Mm.
I think more so than anything, it's being able to visualize the finished product or the finished result is probably my closest definition of what it means. Mm.
It's amazing. I've been playing around with. I'm reading a book right now, which another coach called Rochelle Skeed suggested to me on this very podcast, called "The Power of Intention." And in
Yes.
the book, have you read it?
I've read bits of it. Actually, I've listened to it because I do a lot of driving. So I listen to the Audible. Yeah. Mm.
In the book,
It's very good.
speak about being creative, and I've played around with that idea a lot in my mind recently because I don't see myself as a traditionally creative person. For starters, because I don't see things in pictures a lot. It's words
Mhm.
and thoughts and ideas. It's not really images. Although I do value visualization and I do make it a big part of my day, it takes a lot more effort and energy to, I think, to get to a point where I do visualize something well compared to my wife who can, like look at an object and mentally rotate it and work around and see how things fit. So that used to be my like I never used to see myself as being creative because I didn't have that aspect. But I enjoy the way this book approaches creativity because it really broadens it out and takes it to like the true sense of the word, which is just creating.
Mm,
We can create
yeah.
different things, whether they're creative or art, or whether it's, like businesses, creating businesses, brands,
Yeah.
physical products. Yeah, I've definitely shifted in the last few weeks of not thinking of creativity as only art. It's
No, that's right. It's not just art. Absolutely not.
mm,
100%. I totally agree. It's more to it. 100%.
which I love because now I can also call myself creative. I don't have to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's kind of it's not a limiting word. I used to think of it as being limiting, but it's very expansive, yeah, which I
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
definitely. Okay, let me get the PowerPoint up and we'll go back to the questions. So again, you have a choice of staying personal, getting tough, or unveiling the third category.
Oh, let's do the bottom one.
The bottom one is for the end. We can't do that one yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. And yeah, let's do the next one then on the right-hand side.
People like to choose the bottom one. Yeah. Inside, let's
The-
is this a little coachy? So
Mm.
when I created this game, I couldn't help but throwing like a few coaching style conversation like questions in there because I think a lot of people have a misconception of what coaching could be, or just a coaching conversation or a consulting conversation. Yeah, I don't want people to be scared of it. So
No, yeah.
I'd throw it in like a conversational podcast and hopefully just make people more familiar with it. I think you'll know the answer to this question pretty quickly. So if you could magically get anything you wanted in the next 12 to 24 months, what would your life look like?
Magically get anything you wanted in the next 12 to 24 months. What would your life look like? Oh, magically, I would have a beautiful property near the beach and be living the life. Yeah. So that would be
Well, what's the life?
the
Is it
life is life of yeah, freedom and running my design studio from my property and walking the beach every day. And yeah, so a, a coastal property is my absolute, yeah, anything. If I could get anything, that would be it. And I'm hoping that 150 million that's on the table this Thursday with Powerball here. might make it happen.
Can you visualize that property already?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
This question
100%.
is easier for you, it seems, than most people because yeah, it feels like you've spent a lot of time thinking about what you'd like to have, and because you've built these businesses and you know what it takes to be successful, to create a
That's
success,
it.
you know.
Yeah, you know, everything is possible. Everything is possible, and my dream is to build another house. I've built 2 homes, and I want to build my 3rd home, and all being well, it'll be that property. Mm.
Wow, everything is possible. I love that. My wife and I are planning to move to Belgium, hopefully in the second part of this year. So we're intending to move there. So we're leaving China back to South Africa and then going to Belgium. And I keep telling her everything is possible because we're searching for jobs, and looking for the right career path to take. And it can be quite daunting because there are
Mm.
jobs, a lot of fancy schmancy titles for things. And it's easy to feel overwhelmed or scared. But I keep telling myself and telling her like everything is possible. Everything already exists in the way that you'd like it to exist. It's just about
Absolutely.
manifesting it.
It is, yeah, 100%. And, you know, when we moved from Victoria to Queensland, you know, people do that and they go back after 6 weeks. I just knew that this was it. This was everything fell into place. When it's right, it all falls into place. And that's what is going, it's what's happening with this business now. So everything is, the universe lines it up. If it's meant to be, it lines it up and it does all fall into place.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Do you believe that your ability to visualize is a strong driver of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I
Mm.
can see where I'm going to be, and I'm excited for the ride. Yeah, it's exciting.
Do you find that a lot of people you talk to or interact with either through your business or just your friends, family, colleagues, acquaintances, how do they feel about things like visualization and meditation and manifestation, things in that
I'm
kind of
very I'm
realm?
very blessed to associate with a lot of people that are very similar minded, and that is that they are very similar. They do the same. So I don't sort of have those. I don't have toxic people in my life. I've made that choice, and not that people that don't visualize are toxic. It's just purely I choose to associate with with people who have of the right mindset that you know, they're supportive, and it's about having a great cheer squad that supports you whatever you say and whatever you do, and you know, they just want you to succeed. So they're the kind of people I associate with. Mm.
Yeah, and you create the kind of relationships and people that you attract into your life. What would
Yeah.
you advise people to do then people who would like to have those like-minded people in their lives? Do you have any tips or things that work for you or anything?
Um, well, if I can relate it to business,
Mm-hmm.
one thing we did was hire fast and fire quicker, right? So
Okay.
with friends, it can be the same. Where if you're finding that it's not right, and you get that gut, you got to go with your gut. I believe your gut does tell you that we're built in with intuition. We've just got to listen to it. And if it's starting to feel a bit going south, move on and find someone else. So
Let those relationships go because they're not
yeah,
serving.
they're not serving you.
Fire
No.
faster, fire quicker. I've never heard that before, but I absolutely love it. Faster, faster, fire quicker. A lot of people,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a difficult thing to do to let somebody go or cut them out of your life or choose not to, associate with them anymore, especially if they would like to be like interact with you and associate with you. It's quite a tricky thing to do.
It is very tricky, and I'm a people pleaser. That's one of my things I am, and yeah, it is something that takes time to learn. I mean, I have moved on from friends in the past, and it's taken a lot for me to make that decision and choice. But as you say, when they're no longer serving me and it's a battle, there's no point. You're better off having
Mm.
change, saving your energy. And I actually put it down to modern day vampires. They suck the life out of you.
Very vampires. Yeah. They're because we're so connected to everything and exposed to everything and used to like that instant gratification.
Yep.
It's very easy to become a criticizer and a complainer, and yeah, it's very easy to find those people as well around you.
Oh yeah, there's so much negativity in the world, and
Mm.
I very rarely watch the news anymore, and I've always been one to be improving me, and self-improvement is a big thing
Yeah.
with my journey. Always learning, never not learning.
I guess it's a
And it's
choice, between, as I like to call it, like your ultimate life vision and being, how can I put it? Yeah, your ultimate life vision and just like feeling like you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and the
yeah,
like obviously, of course, there are respectful and kind ways to do everything and to speak to people, and we should always
there
be
is.
kind and respectful.
Respectful, absolutely.
There's a
And
choice, ultimately between your ultimate life vision and just and
yeah,
thinking right now and pleasing, if I can put it that way.
yeah, yeah. There's a fine line, but you need to be mindful of, if your gut's feeling it's not right, it's not right.
That's true. That's true. So now you've unlocked all the categories. Is there anyone you'd like to go back to specifically?
Oh, let's
Have they
do
all
that's a
been tough
tough
ones?
one.
You do a tough.
Oh, no, they haven't all been tough. They've been interesting. It's a great concept. I love it.
You. Thank you. Should I change the name to That's an Interesting One? Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so number two in That's a Tough One is what brings you great joy and fulfillment? This is
Oh,
for you.
so what brings me great joy and fulfillment? Spending time with my granddaughter
Mm,
these days. She's beautiful. I get a lot of joy and fulfillment from her. She's been sent to us. She's a blessing. And my children are beautiful too. I'm very, very grateful for them to have chosen me as their mum, So
mm.
I am very, very grateful for my family. My family brings me joy and fulfillment.
Family seems to be still a really strong like value that a lot of people have in Australia and New Zealand, I'm noticing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, family, they're your flesh and blood usually, they're just they're the core, they're the string to your bow. They're your cheer squad.
Mm.
And I'm sure there's families out there that aren't like that, but my family is, and I love them every day. They support me, and I get a lot of joy out of the fact that I know that I've got them in my pocket to support me. So,
I feel the same way about family, and I know South Africa as a whole, like we're very family orientated as well. Because your family has been there since day one.
that's right.
They're
That's right. And we choose them for a reason. So when we come into this world,
Yeah.
We choose our families.
It's interesting because I work here in China, I've met a lot of people from a lot of different countries, and that strong family value doesn't always come through as much with people from different parts of the world as what I've noticed in South Africa and Australia and New Zealand, like speaking to Cali, obviously like growing up. It doesn't seem to be as strong anymore in other parts of the world, especially like, the classic family, like big family setting, like cousins and everybody come over and grandparents.
Mm.
It seems to have drifted away from that a
It
little.
has drifted away. You're right. It really has. I think that, yeah, I think, there's a lot of variables now, in relationships, and having that, look, I was blessed to have married my soulmate. We were high school sweethearts. Like we started dating when we were 15, and I was just blessed. And my family, I've just carried that through. My mum and dad were very close. I've just been. I think it just depends on how you've been brought up and what you're used to. I think, and some people like it, some people don't, and it's just what I love. So it's no right or wrong way. There's always the what I'm trying to say is that I guess it's what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's sort of it. Yeah.
But family brings me great joy and fulfillment as well. Um, yeah, I've also been blessed to grow up with wonderful parents and a brother. It's such a comforting feeling knowing that you can go home or you're at home and the best people in the world for you are right there. And you don't have to go out
Mm,
looking for them. You don't have to go on Facebook or Instagram or anything. They're right there. That I think is
yeah,
just the coolest thing in the world. It's awesome.
absolutely.
Luckily, I was able to go
Absolutely.
home in October last year for the first time since 2020. And my wife and I, through working here in China, we've been fortunate enough that we were able to rent like two little beach houses in the Western Cape in South Africa and invite our closest family to kind of come join us for a week, just all of us being together because we got married here in China, so our families haven't really like met or interacted much. And so it was an opportunity for just everyone to come together. My parents also divorced, so it's like more separation in that sense, even though it's very amicable, like very loving still.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
got to come together, and for the first time, me as an adult as well, just got to interact with them and be with them. And it was like every single moment was, that high energy kind of the moments that give you goosebumps that just make you feel
yeah.
grateful and filled and loved. It was just a week
Oh,
full
that's
of that,
beautiful.
getting to know people in different ways. So yeah, family.
Mm,
Family is awesome. It's
yeah, they are. That's beautiful. You experienced that. You had the opportunity to do that. And a
yeah,
memory you'll keep for a long time.
it is. Yeah, we took a whole bunch of pictures. I think, yeah, it was I think one afternoon we took over 300 pictures. Uh, I know because I had to
Wow.
send them all in batches of 30 to our like little WhatsApp group thing. It's a lot of pictures because we love each other, we gotta take it.
Yeah, it's what you do. It's what you do.
All right, the choice is yours.
A little coachy. Let's do another one of those.
I love to hear that. Who's had a significant impact on your life and what qualities in that person or others like them do you admire?
Oh, there's been a few. And I call it seasons. I think that in my life, I find that I've had seasons of various people coming into my world and being of influence to me. Um, yeah, I guess.
Bring it right to right now, perhaps.
Yeah, so I guess a friend of ours who's here on in Queensland, he's 80 in his 80s now, and he would have to be an amazing inspiration, my biggest inspiration of person, because he's the same my dad passed last August, and he's the same age as my dad. But this man is such a fit man, and he has got such an amazing outlook on life, and he really coached me into with our second business. He was my mentor and for my husband and I, and he really, yeah, I just love how he embraces life, and he's just so oh look, he's a funny character, but he's very opinionated, but he's very true in what he says, and that's what I love about him. So yeah, he would be my main one.
He seems almost greater than words.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain because I used to I he had me in tears so many times, and but it was all life lessons, and and he made me I feel he's really influenced me, and my dad did too. My dad too. So dad was always a worker and always a battler, but
Yeah.
all he ever wanted to see was his children do better than himself, and yeah, so that's sort of he inspired me
It's,
too. Mm.
it's wonderful to have that wisdom being shared.
Mm.
I think we should do maybe one or two more questions and then we'll unlock that final box. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea. I'm a bit hesitant to know what's in there. Okay, let's get personal. Let's do it.
I like that. Oh, I love this question. Actually inspired by my wife. Shout out to her. Definitely not forcing me to say that. You could open a recreational resort or any resort of any kind. What kind of resort would you open and what would you serve there? What would the kind of atmosphere be?
Oh, wow. I would have a holistic resort and have all healthy foods, and yeah, just a place of calm, a place of calm,
Sure.
and hero the body and the mind, and really embrace peace.
Mm. Where would you open it? By the
Where
beach?
would I open it? Yeah, 100%.
Or would you might say that? Beach. Sounds like what you would choose, yeah, by the beach. Just kind of a sanctuary and a holistic place. That sounds very peaceful.
Mm,
Cali,
yeah, a retreat.
something similar. Um,
Did she really?
yeah, she said she'd love there to be like a spa and she'd love there for there to be a garden and grow her own veggies and she would cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I've often said to my husband is I would love to go off grid and just
Mm.
live naturally, and no toxins, no, I'd love to, yeah,
Just
reset my body.
completely natural, know everything that you put into your body. Mm. Perhaps you and Kelly should team up, Could open up.
You never know what's on the horizon, do you? There you go. Very interesting. No, it would be very good for a reset center, I think, and that, sort of people where business owners can go, and I mean they're out there, there are retreats like that, but yeah, that's sort of yeah,
If
I'd
you
like to do that.
had to give it a name, well, what would you call it?
Oh, be free lifestyle.
Mm, that's nice. Yeah. I'm assuming you also kind of build and design everything that's in the resort as well.
Oh yeah, I project management is one of my passions. I love project management. Having built two homes, Yeah, that's a big thing I love to do. So yes, I would absolutely design it all and bring it to life. Yeah, 100%.
Sounds cool. You should send me a picture one day when it's console.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got my house I want to build and got all that in my mind. So yeah, I can certainly build a retreat.
Um, what would be your next choice?
Oh, that's a tough one. Let's do that.
You'll love to hear it. Oh, oh, this is really a tough one. This is one when I wrote it, I was like, are you sure you should be asking people this question? I would love to know, what do you think is the biggest problem?
Oh, golly.
Feel free to choose more than one. I don't want to limit you.
I well, I think that um the biggest problem in the world today is people are losing respect for one another.
How does that
Yeah.
play out or kind of manifest, do you think, like in the big
It
picture?
yeah, in the big picture, I think that there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, if you could say it that way.
Okay.
I think that there's too much yeah, there's a lot of um there's not a lot of honesty these days either. I think that we're kept in the dark for what is really going on.
I can see
Mm.
your face tells me everything.
Yeah.
What are people
Yeah.
valuing besides, or what are people valuing above respect?
What are they valuing above it? I think look, I think they respect themselves more than they respect others. And that's the thing, which is it's a very much a me society now. It's not we and it's I. And I think that which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But um having respect for others, there's a lot of anger out there, I feel. And I think we've got too much sugar in our diets, and that's why. So I think there's way too much sugar and some of the foods that are allowed in our environment, drinks and things that people have, these sports drinks and that, I don't think they should be allowed. And I think that's got a lot to do with the way people's minds are and how reactive they are towards situations, and where things could be a lot more calmer if they really thought about what they allow. Because I just yeah, sugar is such a poison, and I think it does a lot to our brains. Mm.
A lot of people don't factor that in, actually, I would say. You're the first person who's answered this question, actually. Haven't had the opportunity, so I'm really and I love
I
that
hope I answered it well.
I agree with your answer because a lot of people don't factor in what they eat and how that affects who they are,
Mm,
what they're thinking, how their mind and body works, especially over a longer period of time. Like there's a reason that we don't let young children eat sugar or a lot of sugar. There's a reason for that.
that's
Um,
right.
obviously it doesn't help.
Yeah, and I think that if it was completely banned, it'd be a different world. I love it myself. Don't worry, I'm a sweet tooth from way back. But if I didn't, if
Chocolate.
it wasn't as, chocolate, I love a chocolate. But I just think it does. It's an addiction, and I think that if there was a lot more control, and also the chemicals in our foods, I just don't. I think that is a big thing that does have. It's created a lot of anger in the world. Personally, that's just my opinion. But
So the
yeah,
kind of cycle would be a lot of sugar. It affects the way you think and kind of makes you more agitated and easily like
mm,
triggered.
correct,
And
correct.
it's interesting when my wife and I went to Belgium last year on holiday, we had some of the best chocolate in the world, which was just incredible, amazing. But what I like a lot from that experience is that what they make there the chocolate doesn't have a lot of sugar. It's sweet. It tastes incredible. It satisfies the sweet tooth, but it doesn't have like a lot of added sugar because I think the best and most natural ingredients in the world, they have the right amount of everything that's needed to be there, right? There's not, you don't have to add anything else.
Yeah, it's more purity there than
Yeah, you don't have
artificial.
to make it taste good and for people to like it. Um, yeah.
Hmm,
Wonderful.
interesting.
Thank you for sharing. I know that was a tough one, put you on the spot.
It was.
Sharing.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, would you like one more, or should we go to the final category?
Oh, let's do the final one. Let's just do the final one.
The
It's
final
got
one
me
is just
curious.
okay. The final one. This one is just the before you go category.
Okay.
And I just want to put this question out there. Yeah, what's been on your mind lately? Anything that you're thinking or focused on, or you want to share?
Um, Working my business full time. Yeah. Yeah, transitioning out of employment into full-time self-employment
Mm, mm.
and making sure that everything's in place, and it's all rolling in the right direction. So, but you got to be ready for it, and yeah, that's been on my mind a lot.
If you don't mind me asking, what do you think is the kind of point, like the okay, this is done, I'm ready. Let's just transition full time. Like, what's that?
Yeah, I don't think you're ever ready. I think that you've just got to make that decision and go. And I think that from my experience, when I do go and when I do, it happens because you get the energy and the momentum. It just feeds on itself. You just got to make it happen.
Mm,
You don't look back. You keep moving forward.
mm,
So, when we started our dental laboratory, I was working still in Melbourne, full time, and so was my husband, but we commuted up and down from Geelong to Melbourne every day, and he would come home and he would work in our back bedroom and he started his Crown and Bridge Dental Laboratory in the back bedroom, and then I was still working. So you've got to have that little bit of transition, but as you get the momentum going and it starts building, you got to run with the build, and you need to get and move on it, because it's the best thing is to keep that momentum going.
yeah, I love what you said about you're never really ready, and I think that's so true, and a lot of people get stuck on that.
They do. They get stuck on, and I mean, I guess I'm not I'm not stuck on it. I've got to be sensible because I am the only income earner in my family. And however, in the background, I'm building all the time, and got some amazing clients. And there's more. They just they're coming, and that momentum is so exciting. And yeah, just I'm due for long service leave in May, so that's when that's when I'm transitioning out into full-time self-employment again. So yeah, it's
I think
exciting.
a perfect point to kind of tell anybody how they can get in touch with you, and yeah,
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so look, you can go to my website, which is www.dzinign, design dot studio is the web address, and you can find me on Facebook and Design Studio, spelled DZIGN
the
Studio. I'm on Instagram. Design by Shell is my tagline for Instagram. So I'm out and about. I have got a YouTube channel too, Design Studio again. So
press.
yes, you can see all my stuff. You can see case studies from clients, there's testimonials from people who I've had the pleasure to work with, and yeah, it's evolving. It's just amazing because we're basically we can do it all. We can do it all. We do all your branding, It just starts with a banner and a logo. That's where it starts, and then we can, we build your brand, we build your profile, and depending on where you're at, we can you can engage with us for a full-time engagement where we do it for you. So there's lots of options, but it's about connecting and having that conversation and just seeing where you're at, what do you need help with,
Mm.
and I actually listen. I don't tell you what you want. I make it work for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. One of the things I love about our conversation, I can sense just the way that you speak and the way that you carry yourself. It's really easy to talk to you, and I can see how you just you turn visions into reality, basically.
I
I can,
certainly do. Yeah.
yeah, I'd encourage anybody who needs any kind of branding or business help to get in touch with you. I'm gonna link and describe and attach all of these links everywhere that this video gets posted up, because yeah, I think you can bring
Thank you.
people. You've brought a lot of value to me as well, just in this conversation. Yeah, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and I've had a lovely time. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm excited to see the next one.
I think
Yeah.
there's another question or two. I mean, I know I'm speaking like it's the end, but I want to show appreciation when when I feel it's strong. Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
great.
Is there any book, podcast, movie, series, thing, idea, activity, anything?
Well,
that-
yeah, well, we're progressing into doing interviewing and podcasting with our clients, because there's clients out there that want to do podcasting. So we're building, we have even professional voiceovers as well. We do it as, it's a whole holistic approach that we can do it all. So it's just having that conversation to see what the clients are after,
Yeah.
and then I have a vision for them. Like I work with an author. She's written her second book, and we're about to launch that. So I've got, coaching clients. I've got, all kinds of clients, and everyone's different. No two are the same. There's no set model that I have. I mold it to you and have it to work for you so that it makes your dream come true,
I love that.
bringing your business to life. There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm curious. Did you learn anything new about yourself during this game, and would you mind sharing?
Oh, you know what? I'm really enjoying talking and sharing. I find that I feel I'm getting better at communicating
Mm.
with people like yourself, and sharing more about myself, and it's about putting yourself in the spotlight. And I never really have done that, and I'm glad I am. Put it that way. I'm enjoying it. I really am enjoying putting myself in the spotlight. It's fun.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. That was one of my aims when I created this, because it's one of my intentions as well, to get better at conversations, working with people, and the scariest part for me is that I, we've never met. We don't really
No,
know. We don't go way back.
no.
Uh, we've just met, and I think the opportunity to have these kinds of conversations and to connect with people, it's everywhere, and we just need to put ourselves out there, like you said, and be willing to connect,
Yeah.
because great things will come of it. It's
Absolutely. And one thing we do is I actually have a conversation with my clients, and share, get a testimonial from them on their experience with us. And at the same time, we hero their business as well. And we give them the opportunity to highlight their businesses in that conversation. So it's a little mini podcast, but it gives them a bit of exposure at the same time, which is really great. So, and it builds their confidence in speaking about themselves. So I do believe there's more and more of it. Um, to it that, building your business is about putting yourself in that spotlight and being proud of what you've achieved, and your knowledge and your wisdom is there, and you just got to run with it and make it all come to light.
That's
Mm.
absolutely true. And I love that because we're all able to get connected, we can meet and talk to one another, even though
Yeah,
we're halfway across the world. I'm not
I
in my home country anymore, but we have this opportunity and such amazing growth, and even more opportunities come from just having experiences like this. Um, yeah.
absolutely. And you're amazing. You're very good at communicating. You really are. You've got a real art there. So keep running with it. You've got the knack.
I definitely, this is something every single week for 4 weeks in a row. This has been like one of the highlights of my week. I have no expectations beside that it's going to be fun and just meaningful and
Mm,
I'm going to learn something. And every week I come away and I could write pages and pages of social media posts about everything that I learned and how I feel. And it's my intention one day to also re-listen to every single conversation, to see the growth, to see how each one of them is different, and just to relearn because I'm learning.
yeah.
I've learned from previous guests, conversing with them. But I think if you don't kind of repeat that or expose yourself to that again, there's a chance you might forget, and I don't want to forget.
No, no, that's right. And like I'm just about to do a masterclass actually for business owners. It's still in the works, but it is coming in February, and I will be marketing that. And I've actually just finished my first ebook, which is going to be a series of books on, the things to remember. So it's about getting that information out in various ways, and what you're doing is fantastic. It's getting the information out by conversation, and I'm actually, just about to embark on the masterclass, and my ebook and is about to go live, and it's a fun journey. I'm loving this. It's really great that we are global. We are all over the world and meeting some amazing people. That's great.
It's absolutely true. Yeah. Like you said, I love the journey. It's incredible. Yeah.
It's
I
fun.
think we are sadly on yeah, the last question. Just this was kind of a fun. Any last words? Kind of.
Yeah, just thank you. Thank you for the experience. It's been amazing. I really love what you've done and what you've brought together here. It's lots of fun. I can see why Kelly put me into this, and she said, "I need to do this for you. You need to do this." And I'm thinking, I'm so glad she said. So thank you, Kelly. I'm sure
Well,
you're out there.
yeah, I'm sure she is as well. Callie's everywhere. Uh, yeah. And thank you to you as well. It's been such a privilege just having you on here, and I'm really grateful to be able to talk to you, to learn from you, and to meet you as well. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I love
Oh,
what you're doing
thank you.
as well, and I also just from my side want to encourage you to keep going, because I can sense and I can see the vision that you have is so strong. Keep believing in yourself, and yeah, I know you
Thank you.
achieve even more greater things. And I'm looking forward to being invited to your resort one day. A guest
I'll
list.
have you on the top of the list.
Thank you so much. VIP. Uh,
VIP. Yes. Thank you, Andre. You put it in you've planted the seed now. There you go.
and to everybody else who was watching, thank you very much for watching and listening. I know I got a lot of value out of this. I hope all of you got a lot of value from it as well. I'm going to be linking all of Michelle's things in the descriptions and the comments and wherever else you link things in social media. So please keep an eye out for that. And yeah, have a wonderful week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank